Hey, I'm Cordelia Kate, and here is another reason to go live that you probably haven't been told about. You already know that going live is brilliant for connecting with your audience, creating content, showing that real human side of you, because bloopers, when they happen live, they've happened. You can't delete them. You can't do a retake. You're already live and it's already happening, which, by the way, makes it a fantastic way to connect with people in this day and age when so much content is AI generated, and it's a way for you to really stand out in a sea of AI generated stuff. But another reason that I want to add today is that going live is also the best raw material that you can feed into AI in order to create a product that is worth buying. And look, I am an AI addict. I use it all the time. I use it for everything, but I work smart with it. I do not replace my brain. I do not replace my thinking with it. I do not replace my humanness with it. I definitely don't replace my brand with it. I use it to elevate those things. When you are live, things happen. Stuff goes wrong, bloopers happen. That is all going to be okay. And know that if it's not, it's fine, because the whole point of it not being perfect is that it looks human. And the whole point of it being human is that it connects with other people that feel human and they don't feel perfect. So they relate to you because they don't feel like they're perfect and polished. But look, here's where people are going wrong with AI. They're going to AI and they're like, make me this, create that. And they're not giving it a highly human input to create from. And when you do that and you hand that over to AI and you say, make me something out of this or using this, or here is my take on this subject, and you get it to create from that, you're always going to get a much stronger output, and it's going to sound like you. It's going to feel like it's real, like it's been generated by a human. So I'm going to show you today how going live is not only great for connecting with people and it's awesome for creating content, but how to actually take it a step further and get two things out of one. And I'm going to show you how I turn a live stream into a product that is then on sale by the end of that day. So there is a 6-step process that I'm going to walk you through today that is going to start with an idea and it's going to end with a product that you have available to sell in your store. Now, little prerequisite, you do not need to have a live show or to be going live already in order to do this. You don't need a load of stuff done before you start. Secondly, in terms of, I'm going to be mentioning selling stuff on your store. And I think what might be quite fun is for me to show you my store so that you can have a look at it. So this is my store. I have every single one of these is a playbook. And if you click on that, you can then go and purchase the individual playbook, and you can see what video it accompanies and all the rest. This was just made with Lovable. And so you can make your own stores on Base 44 or Lovable. The other one of my clients uses Stan Store. The software is already made. You don't need to build it on Lovable or Base 44. And you can basically just have a store where you've got all of your products listed. The most scrappy way to do this, if you do not have a website, you don't have a store, you're not going to set up any software just now, and why should you? Let's base this, build as we fly, always. Then what I recommend you do is when you create this product, you promote it, and you can just set up either a Stripe page or a PayPal page for people to go and pay for it, and you can just share the link to that. I'm going to just show you how to plan and prep your live streams so that you can extract a product from them. What we want to think about then, before even going live, is we want a bit of a plan. Those are my 3 stages for everything: plan, promote, deliver. There's always something to promote. Never miss a marketing opportunity. So even when we go live and you don't promote it, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to. But if you do promote it and you give people a bit of warning that you're going live and sharing your insights on XYZ topic, you're likely to have a lot more live stream viewers than you would have done otherwise. So it is a good idea to do a bit of promote. So in terms of the planning phase then, there is one differentiator that enables you to get a product out of your topic now that you're going to go live on and talk about. And obviously, to sort of give us something to really focus on for training session, we're going to focus on how-to content, educational content. It's the easiest way for me to explain how this works. But be creative, think outside the box, think how you could apply this to other types of content that maybe you could share if how-to content doesn't quite fit the bill. Essentially, we want to bridge that topic and we want to bridge it to a method of some kind so that we are taking them through a structured framework that we can then hand to them, or we're going to then be able to have a framework that we can hand to them, or a checklist, or a process, or some templates, or some AI prompts, or something that's going to help them take the topic and turn it into an actionable action. So what I do first is I come up with a topic. So what is it that I want to teach? Now, in terms of that, let's say, for instance, I wanted to teach how to master marketing in 5 minutes, because marketing is really simple when you understand it. And I can teach you that and help you implement a new way of thinking about it in a few minutes. That will change how you market forever. I'm sure of it. So I could come up with that, but that's great as a topic. I could just go live and I could ramble about marketing and share my insights and share my thoughts on it. But then I've got to somehow take that transcript of that live and turn it into a product. And if we work backwards like that, and we go, okay, go live on a topic, deliver your topic, ramble for half an hour to an hour about that topic, and then let's now unpick that and try and turn it into something. Number one, you're going to miss the opportunity to sell the item you are going to turn the live into on the actual live stream. Number two, you're not going to have a very well structured transcript to feed into AI. So this is why we want to plan this and we want to think about it before we go live. Number one, if you've got a bit of a plan, when you go live, you're going to feel like you know what you're talking about. You're going to ramble less and deliver better. But number two, you're going to be able to preempt and outline what this is going to turn into afterwards, which means the reverse engineering will be much more straightforward and you'll get a much better product at the end of it. So how to master marketing in 5 minutes is going to be the topic of my live. Then my product, I could do a marketing mastery playbook. Inside that playbook, there will be the 5-step method for marketing anything. So that's what I'm going to sell. So now on the episode, I need to go through those 5 steps and I need to deliver that thing. And so in my planning of this episode, this is going to be intro. Now the intro needs to be in the form of a cold hook. It's like, what are people going to get out of watching this live? Because when people come and watch from the replay, because it's not happening live, they're less compelled to watch. So you need something that hooks them in right from the beginning. And that something just needs to be, what are you going to get out of the time you spend watching this video? That's what you need to tell them. So we call that cold open. Essentially, it's just an intro. So we've got the intro, and then on the live, you want to relate to the audience. How is this relevant to them? What are they feeling right now? What are their emotions, in the sense that they feel stressed or they feel upset or they feel worried? And that's why they're looking for this video. And I want you to relate to them. So for instance, I have related to you guys at the beginning of this by saying, you want to go live because you know it's really good for connecting with your audience and doing all the things, but it just becomes another piece of content on a list of content ideas that never gets done because it's not up there in terms of like the most important thing you need to do today. So what if we increase the importance and we went, we're going to turn this into a workflow that now adds revenue into your bank account by turning every live stream you do into a product. So not only are you going live and connecting with your audience, but you're also getting paid for it straight away. And then we have the outro and CTA. So there we have it. We've got our topic, we've got the idea for what we're going to turn it into afterwards, and then we've got the rough sketch for how we're going to deliver that on the actual live itself. You could sit down at your computer and you could type your whole process. You could write down all your methodology, your 5 steps, the whole marketing mastery sheet that we're planning on talking about on our next live stream. We could get all of that written down, but it's going to take you ages. And then once you've written it all down, you are going to not have necessarily the same nuance that you would have if you just recorded yourself teaching the topic for half an hour to an hour. So we're going live to hold us accountable to actually getting a really good way of you delivering that teaching, so that we've then got the transcript, which is, hopefully half an hour to an hour of you talking about how to do something and what that process is. So the preparing side of things is just to plan the outline so that you can follow that whilst you teach it. Then when you teach it, you're allowed to go off on rabbit holes and tangents and whatever, because that human nuance is really juicy. It is gold. At the end, when we then have that live completed, we then have the transcript that we can then take to AI and use and get it to turn into a product. It just needs to be something tangible within that live stream that people can take away and do, that you can then turn into a process and package up later into a workbook or a checklist, some kind of downloadable that they can take, and it will enable them to implement what you're teaching in an easier way. We are, of course, going to use Claude for this because we're going to get that highly human input and get it into Claude so that it can create the copy, and then it's going to create essentially a downloadable for us. I'm going to show you one of the previous live show episodes that I've done, and we're going to use an actual example, and I'm going to walk you through my workflow with this. So here is the marketing strategy show. Here are all my episodes, and let's take how to turn a video into a high quality blog post. Right, so I've done this live stream already. If I come across here, here is the transcript of this recording when I went live. So I'm going to take this transcript and I'm going to come into Claude, and I'm going to say, right, let's drop that in there. I like to voice record into AI just because it makes it easier. There we go. So I want you to take a transcript, and I'm going to give you a couple of prompts. I want you to help me create a product. We're going to break this down into steps. So please don't skip ahead, because when AI skips ahead and tries to do everything in one step, it ends up producing a pretty wanky output. So what we're going to do is step one is going to be creating the outline. I want you to tell me if there's anything missing that would enable you to give me a better output. And I want you to not just fill the blanks that you have with fluff or with stuff that isn't necessarily true or good and you're just guessing. Don't do that. I'm going to give you a transcript. I'm going to give you a couple of prompts that I use. Be aware that these prompts have been taken from a workflow inside Airtable and maybe formatted in a way that asks you for inputs that we don't necessarily have to hand. So just let me know if there's anything awry. And then I'm going to just say, here's the prompt. And guys, I'm going to give you all of the prompts. So I like to break this down into a couple of steps. Step one is creating a structure. And then step two is populating that structure with copy. Always break it down if you can, because the reality is that if you try and get it to do too many things at once, like let's say you're getting it to create the structure and populate the structure and then put your voice into it and then turn it into a document and publish it as a PDF, what's going to happen is that you are going to get a really poor output because it crammed too many jobs in one go. And it will try and do that. You need to tell it to slow down and go one step at a time. And so the prompt that I'm pasting in now, this prompt here, so that's just going to create the framework. And here's the prompt. And then here's the transcript. And I'm just going to grab, I use this tool called Copy Clip, which I absolutely love. It's got all like the last 100 things I copied. So I clicked that copy clip thing and it's just already pasted it there. So we've got those two things. So I'm going to press send. Now inside Claude Chat, which is where we are now, it can create the basis of a PDF, because I don't know if you know this, but a PDF is HTML then converted into PDF. It's code that is then converted into a PDF and delivered in that format. Claude Chat, which we're in the browser right now, can create the HTML for the PDF, but it can't convert it. What we need for that is co-work or code. So before I produce the outline, a few things. What I have the prompt, I have the video transcript. What's missing? No AI prompts provided. Okay, because I have in this how to turn a video into high quality blog post, I have a prompt that I shared on how to actually do that. And that's what it's picking up on. So one demo. So just make a prompt up. No resources list provided. Okay, so resources. What resources to use the transcript? And that's because where I've got it from Airtable, it's got inputs, and it's one of those inputs listed as a list of resources, which I create in another cell. And so just don't worry about it in terms of the prompt that I'm going to give you in a bit. It's going to be simplified and not have that in there anyway. One thing awry in the structure prompt itself, it has placeholder dashes where the transcript prompts and resources should go. Videos, transcript, and assume you meant yes. Yeah, gave you them as pasted. Okay, a content gap in the transcript worth knowing about. Okay. All right. Well, it just thinks that it was just episode 3 of the show. All right. Give me a break. One thing to challenge you on before we go, the transcript teaches 2 separate things that don't fully integrate. That's fine. Do we want to go? Let's go option A. And then it'll draft the outline. I have Claude set up to just really challenge me on everything. Little tip for you inside my settings here under the personal preferences. I have, of course, never use M dashes. Only answer if you're confident. If you're unsure about anything, tell me directly. Do not make something up. I'd rather verify it myself than get a wrong answer. That's why it's pushing back on me quite a lot right now. Challenge me and tell me what's wrong with what I'm saying when there is something, or give me other ideas. Don't just tell me what's right and let me blindly move forward when there's a better way. Poke holes in my reasoning where it's helpful to do so, but don't challenge me for the sake of it. If you can't find anything to challenge me on, then don't create challenges or poke holes for the sake of it. So I have that in here. Feel free to screenshot now and then copy and put it into yours. If you're a little bit sensitive, be warned, Claude's going to get a little bit feisty when you put that prompt in the settings thing. But it's good because I have had ChatGPT blowing smoke up my ass for far too long. And we need to be told when things need improving, but just be prepared to pull up your socks and take a whipping from Claude, because it'll happen if you put that prompt in there. So a few things worth flagging on this outline. I invented step 2 because the transcript, that's fine. The if this doesn't apply yet section is thin because the transcript doesn't really address non-video makers audience. Okay, that's fine. Step 7, SEO pass is deliberately light because the transcript is light on it. If you want this to be beefed up, would be padding with stuff the video didn't teach. Your call. No, all okay. Just whatever. Okay, good. Outline's locked in. The outline, the video to blog repurposing playbook. Subtitle, a 2-step AI prompting method for turning one video into a ranked, readable blog post without losing your voice. That's fine. We've got what you'll need. So we've got an ingredient section. I like that. And then we've got core content, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Now, listen, it's not just made this structure up. I've included it in the prompt. I've already refined, honed, architectured, engineered the prompt. It's huge, the prompt that we pasted in there earlier. Got a uniform structure that I want these playbooks to be laid out on week by week. So when you get the prompt, you just need to go through and adapt it so that it fits your style and how you want it to be. But this is just how I have mine. And then we've got AI prompt section. That might not even be relevant to you, but it is for me because often I'm using AI prompts to help people implement the strategies that I'm teaching on this show. So we've got that. We're going to pretend that we've gone through the whole thing and we're like, yeah, outline's good. Happy with that. It's reflecting what it is that I'm going to teach. What I would personally get rid of if I was actually using this is I would get the ranked. I don't have the credibility to say that I can say that this method is going to get you ranking. And I could feel like that's reaching because I'm not a blogging expert and I'm not an SEO expert. But maybe something better that I can say that this is going to do is it's going to get your outputs undetected in the Zero GPT. Zero GPT is a website that essentially you can drop any text into it and it will tell you the percentage chance of whether it was written by AI or not. And so we want our copy to be undetectable by that so that we're not just going to get put in the crappy AI produced it bin. By the way, the thing that makes that work is number one, we've got like humanizing things that we can add into our prompts to humanize the way we write. I have a video called How to Get AI to Write Like You. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's something like that. I will link you to that here in the video. So click on that and have a watch. So if you, in terms of like making it sound human and be undetectable by Zero GPT, I would have that as a benefit to this system rather than it ranking, because I just don't have the authority on that, is basically what I'm saying. That would be one thing I would change straight off the bat. So go through and have a look. And then essentially we're going to move into step 2. So step 2, ready when you are. I've got the prompt for step 2 here. And this is where we've now got the outline. We're now going to get it to flesh the outline out. So there's the prompt. You have the outline already, so not included here. So I've just dropped that prompt in there. Now let's go and have a look at it just whilst that's generating something for you. You are an expert instructional writer and strategic educator. Your task is to write the complete practical playbook, copy based entirely on the playbook outline provided below. I've been going through and systematically changing a lot of my prompts. Try not to tell AI what it isn't doing, and only tell it what it is supposed to be doing, because otherwise it just gets a bit like, it gives it prompt bloat, and it's very difficult to know what to do by being told what not to do. Like, don't sit down, don't stand up, don't walk around. Well, what should I do then? Stand on one leg with your hand on your hips. Well, why didn't you bloody tell me that in the first place? Stop telling AI what not to do. And also, AI is terrible at writing prompts. It's awful at writing prompts. Listen, in this day and age, we need to become prompt architects. It's a skill for the future. But yeah, so that's basically what we're getting this prompt to do. And as I say, you're going to have an up-to-date prompt that you can use off the back of this. So right before I write this, a couple of things worth flagging. Oh, come on then, challenge us again. Should we just take that setting out for a minute? It's getting boring. I hate it when it argues back. Right, one thing to challenge on the brief. The playbook model references the Facebook pro. Oh yeah, okay, it's the model. So we've given it in the prompt a model. And models are really good. If you've got a model of something good that you've done in the past and you want it to meet that standard, then you can give it a model so that it can model that, basically. So I have given it here a model. The playbook model reference the Facebook profile audit example is much punchier and shorter. So it's saying that would be better. And actually, it would probably be better to have given it that model for prompt 1 rather than prompt 2, I think, to be honest. That makes more sense to me looking back on this, because it's already created the outline at prompt 2. And so the model's handy for voice and style and tone, but it probably would also be handy for creating the actual structure. Anyway, so it prefers the title there. Ours has 7 steps, 2 full prompts, 4 checkpoints, and SEO pass. If we match the voice and density of that model and keep to the scope of our outline, we're looking at a meatier document. Okay, meaty is fine. Meaty is fine. We're happy with meaty. Doesn't matter how long it is, just so long as it's helpful. One thing that's missing worth knowing about before I write, the brief says, if the outline includes AI prompts provided as inputs, our outline has prompts indicated but not written. Okay, you were supposed to make some up for training purposes. And then a voice note, the memory says your voice profile is high energy, direct, rebellious, thinks out loud. The brief's voice guidance is calmer, more grounded. The Facebook model is somewhere between the two. I'll aim for the voice in the brief. Aim for voice in brief. Yes. Okay, pop that in there. So that's going to give me the copy and the whole thing kind of fleshed out. And then what we want next is to read through it and check that we're happy. We're happy with, of course, the structure of it, but also with the sound of it. Does it sound like you? Does it feel like you? You know, or does it just seem like it's a bit generic and a bit boring? A two-step AI prompting method for turning one video into a ranked, readable blog post without losing your voice. You've already made the video. You've already said the thing. Now you're staring at the transcript, wondering if it's worth the faff of turning it into a blog post or whether you should just move on to the next piece of content. That's very me. I'm happy with the way that it's writing, what it is, what it isn't. It's just following the structure I've asked it to follow. And we're just going to, again, read through this, make sure that you're happy with it. When you're happy with it, then what I'm going to do is tell it, that's great. Can you now turn this into HTML so that I can create a gorgeous PDF from there? Use this style guide. Now I have a branding style guide. Where is it? Brand aesthetic guideline. It's very simple. It's very good. I've got another video called How to Get Gemini to Create On-Brand Images. In that video, I walk you through how to create your own brand aesthetic guide. It is a must watch. It really is. So I will link you into it here. So anyway, we've got the brand aesthetic guide. We're going to drop that in there. Now I'm going to turn it into HTML. We want print optimized HTML with page rules. Number 2. Let's have a look on length. This will be 20 plus pages when rendered. That's fine. It's going to be really valuable. And you know, this is the great thing, isn't it? It's like I went live for half an hour to an hour and I've now got a 20-page PDF, and it just makes your life so much easier. So these downloadable PDFs can really unlock things for people because it gives them a written down step-by-step process of how to do this. And this, by the way, is what you are going to get today off the back of this session. I have got a link for you if you don't know about it, the Strategy Lab is flipping awesome because it has every single one of my downloadable PDFs, my playbooks that I make every week inside the Strategy Lab. You can access all of them today for free by scanning that QR code, or I'll give you the link in the comments. And that is essentially going to take you to my school community where you can get access to the entire library of these PDFs for free on a 7-day trial, or you can go to my store, which is app.cordeliakate.com, and buy them individually. And today's one is on this specific link where you've got all the prompts and you've got the downloadable and you've got everything you could possibly need in order to implement this. The way I would be using these, like a really smart way to use these, is take the PDF, drop it into Claude, be like, Claude, help me implement this strategy, and get it to go and do that with you. And that is going to be a killer way to bring this to life. Right, let's go and see what Claude has made. Woo! Here we go. We have the HTML, the video to blog repurposing playbook, a 2-step AI prompting method for turning one video into a ranked, readable blog post without losing your voice. That's great. We want this in A4. And so you need to add margins for print bleed spacing. It doesn't understand. It's challenging me. Safe margins for home office printing, proper print bleed commercial printing. Okay, A. Just safe margins for print. I'm sure there is, for those of you that are into your printing and you know about this kind of thing, you might know what the terminology is. No, I mean padding around the edges so the text isn't going to the edge. Now, this is in HTML. So actually, if we were to download it, what would happen is we would be downloading a piece of code like this. You got to open it. You're like, what? That's not my PDF. That's a load of code. And this is what a PDF looks like before it's been turned into a PDF. So what we need to do is take that code and convert it. Oh, look, we've got some padding. I mean, it needs a bit of work, but for the purpose of this, we will just take it and go. So I'm going to copy this. And what that's done is it's copied all of the code, to my clipboard. So now what we need to do is go to code, Claude code, or you can do co-work. Let's open up Claude on the computer and let's go to co-work. Turn this into an A4 PDF. Done. And that is going to do its thing. I can show you one I did earlier. Here is my speaker notes for this here episode. And you can see, like, once you've got the margins down, it'll just make it look all beautiful and pretty like this. Now, once you've got that PDF, let's move on. Whilst the PDF is being made, once you've got that, what you really need then is to come up with some copy, and specifically copy for promoting it, because now you've got this product. Now you need to go and tell people it exists. A couple of things that I recommend you do. Firstly, whilst you're in the making process, go to Facebook and open up a little Facebook thingy, what's it? And we're going to hit the black background because I like that. And we're going to type how to create a digital product from a live stream and sell it. Drop gimme in the comments. And then I just post that. And then people are going to type gimme in the comments, and I'm going to have a chat with them in the DMs and then basically give them the link to the product so that they can go and grab it. That's the fastest, dirtiest way to sell it. The other way is to come up with a post that you can put out there to promote it. It's here. Now, Claude works locally, so this is already saved into your computer. You do not need to download it. That looks awful because we need to sort the padding out. Again, it would just be a case of going back and forth with it to get that corrected. It's also lied to us. That's 11 pages, not 20 plus. So either it was overestimating it, or it doesn't know how much text goes on an actual A4 piece of paper. But that's actually, I think, a really good length for a downloadable. And then so for hit show in Finder, that's going to show us exactly where it is. And that is now ready to give to people, etc. And there we have it. That is how you turn a live stream into a product and then have it so it's ready to sell in one day. All you need to do is come up with an idea for what your next live stream could be and think about what is the process that I'm going to teach, or what is the framework, or what is the thing that I can deliver on that live that is then tangible and can be turned into an actual process, product, checklist, downloadable workbook, playbook, however it is that you want to put it, so that you can package it up and share it with your audience. And of course, You could also do these as lead magnets, but low ticket products as well. Either way. Awesome. Well, that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you. It is a real person running this channel, no AI. It is me. Lots of love, guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.